there's a lot of piloting that goes into it, a tremendous amount of piloting that goes into it, because you're going to wind up passing other airplanes. You're going to get in a duel with another airplane that's fairly closely matched. So there's a ton of satisfaction from doing that. And hey, let's just talk about the racing itself. It's fun to fly low, but it's dangerous. And so the only time I fly low is at the Reno air races. But watching the ground go by you at 400 and 500 miles an hour is pretty darn thrilling, because it's really scooting on by. And that's fun. That's really fun. So the things that I've done that are really exciting, like flying in the air races, I think are a bit of a calculated judgment that says, okay, I'm going to have to be very much alert and very much cautious, because air racing is probably more dangerous than the space shuttle was, because we flew the space shuttle 135 times and we lost 2 of those. But when you look at air racing, I raced at the Reno air races over the course of 18 years altogether. And in 8 of those years, we had at least a pilot fatality. So 44% of the years that I raced at Reno, we had a pilot die. And one of those years, 2007, we had 3 pilots die. So based on a statistic like that, that's probably, well, it is. It's more dangerous than flying combat missions over Hanoi in the Vietnam War, and it's more dangerous than going to space. But there is a huge reward for taking that risk. Seeing what the Earth looks like from space is certainly worth that risk. And our experience and the Russian experience has been that the majority of your missions fly just fine and come back safely. And there doesn't have to be a fatal mission, even 1 out of 10. So certainly everything we do in life is a calculated risk, and doing that was a calculated risk. And as far as air racing goes, I am not brave enough to race in one of the classes out there at Reno where the airplanes are all nearly identical, that being the T6 class. You could offer me a whole lot of money and I wouldn't take it to race in the T6 class, because those airplanes are too closely bunched up and too even. Whereas the classes that I've raced in, the unlimited class, the jet class, and the Formula One class, airplanes are going to space out reasonably. So sure, right at the start, you're right next to 9 other airplanes, but very rapidly you are pretty much flying on your own, especially if you're out in front. I got to have that experience the one time, and that's really great. That's really great to be way out in front by yourself. And sure, there's a risk of your hitting the ground, but if you hit the ground, it's probably because you did it. And so it's the sort of thing that, are you confident that you can fly that thing and not hit a pylon, not hit the ground? And do you think you're capable of doing that? And if the answer is no, then you better not do it. But I certainly always felt that, yes, I'm capable of keeping the airplane above the ground and keeping it in the air. And so it's one of those calculated risks.